Zoom recording. Okay. Yay! All right. So welcome to the virtual workshop prep call. Today, hey, there's Robin. Hey, there's Kay. Hi, guys. Today's
Hi, how are you guys?
January 30th. And here's the purpose of today's call. We want to get you oriented to the Zoom platform so it goes super, super smooth on Friday. Oriented to the program so that you understand the core, like how this flows, how to get the most out of it. So we'll be reviewing the core outcomes because that's what I'm really, really big about focusing on, and anything you create is reverse engineer it from the outcomes. So we are constantly, hey Mitzi, we're constantly speaking about outcomes. We measure outcomes throughout the program delivery, and that's why we promise that people get the outcomes, because it's 100% designed with the outcomes in mind. I'll also cover the core parts of the program and our schedule and give you a taste of what you'll experience on Friday, what to expect, how it will work, how to get the most out of it. I'll do a love seat demo. That's a hot seat. And the way those are chosen is by raising your hand on the Zoom platform. That's the fastest way to do it. So Robin raised her hand. All of those of you who are in Zoom, go to Manage Participants. And I think that's where you can raise your hand, right? Raise hand from there. It doesn't have it on my function. Okay, Sabrina's raised her hand. Tanya's raised her hand. I know Robin knows how. Mitzi knows how. Shamani knows how. Okay, so Deborah, Dina, you guys having any challenges finding the raised hand? I want you to know where it's at, because there's a lot of opportunities for love seats, and we'll rotate that so that we give as many people a chance to have it. Great, Mitzi, Kay, awesome. Anyone not know how to raise their hand? Can't find it, Dina. Dina, if you'll raise your, go to participants, and then that's where it is. Okay, cool. Also, there's a 615 number on the line who's no longer on the line. So don't know where they went.
It's me, Vanessa. I zoomed in instead of using the conference call.
Okay, who's that? I can't.
Jennifer.
Oh, Jennifer, cool. Okay, good. I'm glad you're on. Awesome. All right. Okay, and then we're going to do breakout groups. So you guys are going to get to experience breakout groups. You guys, breakouts are one of the most favorite thing of our virtual workshop participants, because as Robin so eloquently said it, she said, you know, for me as an expert, I'm giving you feedback, but as peers, you give feedback of how it lands. You give, like, how does this land in the real world for people who are listening to this? And so it's so, so valuable to get both perspectives, and our clients love this as our 360 implementation, and then some time for Q&A. Our key principles for success I'm also going to cover. So the number one outcome for today is help you narrow down your program idea. So some of you may have multiple ideas of what you want to create, or some of you need fine tuning. That's what we're accomplishing today, so we can give all our energy on Friday to really fleshing out that program. So let's talk about the Zoom platform. On the bottom left is the mute unmute. If you need to be unmuted to ask a question or for your love seat, that's where you'll find it. Also, the chat function. The chat function, I think everyone's done. Raise hand function under participants. All right, let's get into the virtual workshop. So here's the logistics. Recording of this entire prep call, virtual workshop, and follow-up call will be recorded and available on the membership site, but we encourage you to download it because we don't keep them up there forever. Like, it's basically going to go away, I think, within a 2-week or 1-week time frame, or I don't know. The team takes it down. So if you want a copy of the recording, go ahead and download it. The second is you can record in your breakout groups. Make sure somebody's recording it, and then the easiest way to share it is to download it to Dropbox and share the Dropbox link. But we can't record your breakout group, so make sure you're recording your own breakout group. And your breakout groups we're serving each other as peer coaches. So I'm going to model, and I'm going to tell you exactly what to do in your breakout group. I'm going to model how to be a good peer coach. And I'll be giving you guys an example today, particularly in this, in the idea, because it's more than just listening for words. I'll be sharing with you how to pay attention to energy, how to be paying attention to voice, how to be paying attention to someone's level of excitement and joy, because one of the huge feedback mechanisms in this program is giving each other feedback on our zone of genius and that thing that lights us up, and removing the things that aren't our zone of genius in our programs. Anytime you do call in on the phone, do let us know so we can update it. And to improve the call video quality, you can close other apps or stop your own video, and that'll usually take care of that issue if you're running into it. So do you have your call guide printed? Because we will be working on page 5. Looks like this. Does everybody have it? Type into the chat. Yes, Sabrina. Yes, Deborah. Awesome. Tanya, yes. Mitzi, yes. Jennifer, yes. Awesome. Anyone not have it? Okay. Laura?
Vanessa?
Yeah.
I went to go into it. It's saying access denied.
Team, can you put a link to it in the chat so everyone who doesn't have it can pull it up? Okay, Shamani has it on her screen. If our team can give Robin a copy that's on the Dropbox, so that way there's, I don't know where, whenever you click on it inside the membership site, it's giving you that, Robin?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's saying, oops, I'm not clicking on the right level or something. It says.
Okay, you'll see it in the chat. So anyone who doesn't have it printed, just click on the link in the chat. That way you can follow along in your breakout group. So just to give you an introduction to our team, because I could not do this alone, and the body of work that we've created in creating this, you know, the reason why I created Create Your Signature program has evolved even as time went on. One, it was because the market told me. I was teaching people how to sell high-end programs, market and sell high-end programs, and they're like, well, I need to help creating it. And so that's why this came about. But as time has gone on, there was a book that I read that was a very profound impact on me, and it talks about building family wealth. And in building family wealth, it includes relational wealth, financial wealth, as well as intellectual property, intellectual wealth. And so I'm such a believer that each one of us has value that we have to contribute to the lives of others, that is embedded in our story, embedded in our experience. And I just want to give you permission to own it. Own it, prove the value of it, and also giving you the words of how to get other people's attention so that they will value it and get the transformation that your work will offer them in their life. So I hugely credit my team for the taking care of our clients. Rosanna is our client concierge. Like, she is a saint in her role. She does an amazing job. I'm so grateful for her. Darby has been with us for years. She's our integrator behind the scenes and makes things run smoothly. And she's also the one who will coordinate the technology of Zoom for the breakout groups. I like to just be fully present for you guys. So those of you who are doing breakout groups, you know, if you want somebody who's facilitating the breakouts, you could do them yourself. They're really simple, but I like having somebody like a Darby who's present, and she's a tremendous asset to our company. So those are who's behind the scenes, and also other team members. What's your biggest motivation to enroll in this class? What was your biggest motivation to enroll in this course? Type that into the chat. Release of burnout from one-on-one work. Yes. Oh my gosh, Deborah. Dina, I'm looking to ramp up my business and think virtual workshops are a good fit. Awesome. To have a format to follow to create high-end programs online. Ditto Deborah, release of burnout from one-on-one. Help get guidance on what specifically, Kay? Shamani, have confidence to run virtual workshops, leverage. Yes. Laura, been doing one-on-one and need a group program. Robin, scaling my business. Tanya, want to get eyes on my ideas so my opinion isn't the only one. You're going to love what you get here. And Jennifer, add a new revenue stream. Which revenue stream, Jennifer? Curious for you. And then Mitzi said what Laura said, which was been doing one-on-one. So several of you are burnt out on one-on-one and are moving to leverage. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm so excited for you. So it may be more money, maybe more clients, be able to do work you love, more easily attract and enroll clients. These are all the things that this addresses, because it's the clarity, the focus, and the confidence. It's clarity, focus, and confidence. You guys, what enrolls clients is them saying, like, they can feel us 100% behind what we're doing, like the clarity that and the confidence that we're going to get them the result. And that we've got our stuff together, right? Like, I'm really big about selling it before we create the materials, but you will have everything else you need that are the real pieces that create the clarity, the focus, and the confidence. So Albert Einstein said, if I had an hour to solve a problem and my life depended on it, I would use the first 55 minutes to determine the proper question to ask. So what we're doing here is supporting you to know what questions to ask. Like, we want to create, market, and sell our high-end programs. And what I've just found when I've served people in strategy sessions, and if I went to the market and I just let people, like, let's just say I was in the middle of a room answering questions, it would just feel like tennis balls coming at me at all directions. It would feel like the tail was wagging the dog, because what I found is, if we have never done it, if we've never achieved that next level that we want in our business, we don't know what questions to ask. And that's why I created Create, because it allows us to reverse engineer everything else in our business when we have our solid offer. So you guys are building the foundation of a business that can scale, that is leveraged, and gives you, like, the optimum return on investment for your time, energy, and effort. So we're going to be focusing on what you love, what is your zone of genius, and what the market wants. All three. It's all of these. I see some people say, do what you love and the money will follow. Unfortunately, we have to do the work to put it in words that our market understands. That's how it'll be easy to sell. And your zone of genius is going to result in how hard you work for the money that you make. And so we wanted to feel effortless for you. So the greater your zone of genius, the greater the greater ease you'll experience in serving your clients. So here's the core outcomes. We want you to feel good about creating a signature program that is a level 10 for you. Now, you're going to learn one of our key principles of success is that 8 out of 10 and 80% is our new standard of good enough. Okay, that's 100%. Our brains, you guys, I've worked with hundreds of people to create their programs in the world. And the greatest tragedy is somebody to not ever put it out into the world because they think it's not good enough yet. That's why I make us trick our brain. And our brain, if it feels like it's an 8, that's the new 10. That's a new 10. It's 100% ready, because the only way you're going to go from 8 to 10 is interacting with real clients. It's called the iterative process of serving your clients. We've done this virtual workshop 18, 19 times. I'm always listening for, is there a way we can tweak it? But it took us a couple times that we're like, oh, this works. This many prep calls, this many follow-ups, this many one-on-ones, whatever. Like, the whole combination of the offer was fine-tuned from just putting it out into the world. So I'm very big on imperfect action. And we serve you as much as we can to get you to the 8, which is the new 100%. And then your clients are going to give you feedback of how to make it better. Packaging is clarity about whom you serve as your ideal client. The most you'll make in your business with an unclear niche, and some people say, well, that's enough, Vanessa, is about $250,000. I've seen people but they're burnt out because they're creating custom solutions for everyone that they're serving. But you can serve a lot of clients and get to about $250,000. But that's about where you cap out. And that's mostly where I start talking to people and they're like, I can't keep doing this. And so therefore, we really, really fine tune on your niche. Positioning is so that your high-end program title really is clear to your ideal prospects. The pricing is identified and the delivery. So some of you are here to create a virtual workshop. You absolutely will have that. Some of you are here to create a group program. Some of those are usually the top two that people create with my help in this. And we will help you to put together whichever one of those is, including an ascension model. So you'll also know where are they going next, and if they can't afford that offer, what are you downselling them to? That's the beautiful thing, is you get your whole model really dialed in. So plus you're going to get how to create clients quickly, the fastest way to find beta clients for your program. Actually, I don't like using the word beta. I might say case study, but beta, most people understand what that means. The top ways to create clients quickly without needing a bunch of technology or online assets, and how to get paid to create your program. So let's talk about the program, the membership site, prep call, virtual workshop follow-up, and next steps. So the membership site, you got access to all these materials. I recommend that you go through those before Friday if you can, because it just gets your brain thinking in the same line of thought of how we approach this. The prep call today is to narrow down your program idea. The virtual workshop is on Friday. That's from 10 to 4. It's implementation focused. We're going to get a lot done in a short amount of time. I'll do a quick overview of content. You'll work on your individual sheets. I'll do a love seat. We'll do a breakout, and then we'll come back together and review. At the end of that day, you will have a very solid draft of your program, and many of you will be ready to sell it. You'll be ready to enroll clients after Friday. It's 10 a.m. Eastern is the start time. Be sure to have your call guide printed. We have a very short lunch. So I recommend that you have your lunch prepped. I consider the work that we do inspirational. So I love to create an inspirational setting for myself. I'll purchase fresh flowers. I have my essential oils going. I have a good green smoothie. I have my lunch prepped. It's just a day to really take care of it as a sacred act for your body of work that you're bringing into the world. So take some time to intentionally think about how you want to set up that day. And we will go through all these. We will actually accomplish every single one of these. It's really, really remarkable and awesome, including the steps of your system, okay? Because I saw that in your private note. Follow-up is next Wednesday. So look at this. In a week's time, this bad boy's wrapped up. Rename your program and any loose ends. So that just gives you a chance to integrate what you've created, what we've done on Friday. And sometimes some of us need to marinate with our work. And so that just anything that bubbles up or a question or a tweak you want to make, bring it to that follow-up call. And then we'll talk about details about continuing beyond create. So the key principles to success: trust the process, trust it. If you're well, when are we going to get to this? When are we going to get to this? Don't worry. We've got you covered. We do this in the sequence that builds upon itself. You're also the co-creator of your experience. And I want to empower you in this, in any situation that you're in life. So I don't expect you to just be there and, if there's something that you have that you intentionally joined create to get, to experience, to do, speak up. Speak up. Get that. Really, really intentionally co-create with me and the team what this experience is like for you. Is that cool? Are we all in for that? Okay. 80% is the new 100%. I spoke to you about that. So if your brain feels like, this feels like a 6 out of 10, that's great. You're already at a B if you're in school. So many of us go into like pass or fail. If it's not 100%, it's a fail. No, like just really, really like make your brain look at it as a different scale now. Honor the sacred space. Okay, I really need your agreement on this, because this work that we do, it's tender to some of our hearts. It feels vulnerable, especially because it's so personal. Like we're doing something that is putting our work out into the world. And some emotion comes up for some of us, some doubt, some yikes, some fear, some excitement. Like there's going to be various emotions that you might experience in this journey. And I look at it as an honor to be able to do this work, to facilitate this work as your facilitator, and an honor for each of us to support each other. And so I just want to ask for your agreement that we honor the sacredness of what this work may be for somebody as they're putting their heart into the creation of it. Do you agree for that? Yes. Awesome. Thank you. Number 5, you are learning a framework that will serve you the entirety of your business. Anything you want to create. I have a client who's created multiple offers as her business has evolved and she's evolved. And she's like, Vanessa, I go back to create every single time because she's been able to successfully fill every program using the framework that she's learned and create. So that's the good news, that you're going to get lifetime access to this. Basically, I'll show you how to get it. And so this will serve you in the future. But what I want you to do in today, I like to use the example of, let's say this is option 1. This is idea number 1, and this is idea number 2. Don't be like in a grocery line where you're trying to you're constantly your brain's kind of going I should have been on that one. I should have been on that one. So today what we're going to do is, if there's 2 that are competing for attention in your mind, we're going to serve you to help you identify which one is the one that your heart is really calling you to create. And the awesome thing is that when you use this framework and go all in on this one. And once you learn how to drive a car, you can get in another car. And later on, if you want to create this one, no problem. But don't try to dually create, because you're not serving either one. Okay. So that's the confidence you can have, is that go learn how to drive a car, then you can drive the other car if you want to. Celebrate often. There's a lot of baby steps in this journey. And if we just wait till the end of when our program's out in the world and filled with clients, that's shortchanging ourselves and the process and the joy of the process. So we celebrate often, and it fuels the work that we're doing. So it's your turn. Here's what we're going to do. And I'm going to do a love seat, and then we're going to do breakout groups. But here's what we're going to do in today's, that's page 5 of your call guide. You're going to introduce yourself. Do you have a signature program idea narrowed down? If so, what is it? If not, what are the top 2 ideas that you're considering? Sometimes there's a thread between multiple ideas and we bring it together. Number 3, why is this program idea important to you? Why is this work important to you to create? Number 4, have you done this work before, one-on-one, or maybe for free, or maybe working for somebody and you did it in your role for that company? So answer the questions to these. If you haven't already, jot them down. And I'm going to do a love seat, and then you're going to answer this with your partners and really share with each other. So let me give you a taste of what to experience on Friday. And we're going to start off by allowing somebody who may need some support around this to raise their hand. Raise your hand if you need support on this. And we'll pull page 5 again, program idea. Okay, Jennifer. Jennifer typed it and raised her hand before anybody. That's pretty quick on the draw there, Jennifer. Let's unmute you.
Okay.
Jennifer?
Yes.
Hi there.
Hi.
So share with us. Tell me a little bit about you. Introduce yourself.
Yes. So, hi, everybody. I am from Nashville, Tennessee, which is why I sound Southern, because I am. So, I am a co-owner of a major PR agency that deals with faith and purpose-based clients. I have been in PR and marketing and led businesses and teams dealing with marketing and PR for over 25 years. My signature program idea is, and I'm playing with the words on this, so I'd love your feedback, is harness the power of publicity to achieve your dreams, or harness the power of publicity to take your business or product to new heights. I got to get the so what in there somewhere, so I'm playing with the back end of it. But the essential idea is to equip business owners or people that have a product to understand that publicity is the most powerful part of the product marketing mix, and give them the tools to explore that and use that and harness it for their business. So I think I mentioned this before. I have done this work for large companies. We've created #1 films based on the principles that I teach. We have created more than 85 New York Times best-selling books, and all kinds of really impactful live events. So I know these principles work.
So let me ask you this. Is it basically a do-it-yourself that you're teaching them for publicity?
Yes. So the idea is that the webinar is going to give them tools so they can go out and do it themselves. And then if they don't have the time to do it themselves, then the additional offer is sort of like a mid-level approach, a hybrid of the two, of a little bit more hand-holding. And then the upsell offer is a more expensive, high-end approach, like bringing them on board like we would any of our other high-value business clients. Does that make sense?
Yes, but when you said webinar, do you mean the free webinar would let them do it themselves, or do you mean your program and you're calling it a webinar? Some people use that word.
Yes, I'm using that word. I mean the program.
Okay, the course.
Yes.
And what are you thinking about? A multi-week, a virtual workshop? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking that it would be a multi-week that includes the virtual workshop, and then makes a lot of use of a Facebook group that myself and my 7 colleagues at Icon, which is our firm, can jump in and sort of answer and sort of direct.
Okay, cool. So don't call it a webinar, just so we can distinguish between webinars being a marketing piece, but you call it your program, and whatever the name will be, and whatever that long title is that you gave me, consider that as a variation or like some tweaking of that we can make for the subtitle. But I would encourage that the title be very punchy and short.
Okay.
And we'll get to naming the program after we've created, typically. But some words that I heard you kind of bubbling up to the top were power, publicity, so power publicity, icon. I kind of like the word icon since that's your brand. So you can play with the names later, but when you describe what the name of it could be, I wouldn't use a long title like that.
Okay. Great.
And then why is this program idea important to you?
You know, I care so much about people's outcomes, because I know that everybody has an amazing idea or experience or product that they're bringing to the world. So it's really important to me and to our firm that everybody has sort of a level playing field. And so for so long, the really powerful publicity techniques have been sort of kept hidden from the masses, and they're only utilized by, Fortune 500 companies. And so I really feel like I want to help the underdog and level the playing field and give people techniques that truly work and can transform their lives.
That's awesome. Yeah, what I hear is that what you said, underdog or level the playing field, it's giving everybody a fair chance for their voice, their product, their offer to be recognized in the world.
Yes.
for more people. Awesome. Have you done this work before, one-on-one or other? It sounds like you have for many years.
Yeah, we've done it for a really long time, and there is nothing more empowering and exciting for me than to see somebody else's dream take off. And so we'd love to just replicate this process and sort of automate as much of it as we can so that more and more people get to experience that feeling.
Girl, like you're dialed in. Why did you raise your hand? Where do you need help?
I think that you've given me the help. I think the title is where I'm struggling the most. And so the fact that you just sort of zeroed in on that immediately and said, you've got to make it shorter, make it punchier. Here's the words I'm hearing. That's the exact kind of very direct feedback that I need.
Yeah. Cool. So today's not about naming our program, but I know like that's in all of our mind, like, the name. So the name we usually do last. We usually do it after we're done with Friday. So I'll show you about that, but you're on the right track, and I hear your energy and your love for what you do and the mission behind it. So I'm really, really excited to help you get this out into the world in a bigger way.
Thank you.
Awesome. Give some love to Jennifer. Let's celebrate her. What was valuable about that love seat? What was valuable about that love seat? Hearing it, seeing it, that served you. What did you get from hearing my coaching of Jennifer? Dana said, I resemble that remark. So she may be a good person to survey about how things are landing, because it sounds like she's probably, everybody who's here is a candidate for your work. Dana has the exact
No,
same.
I'm in the same position she is. I know what my program is. I've been using it for the last 25 years, but it's always been for publicly traded companies versus smaller to medium-sized businesses, and there's a need for it. It's a niche. So
That's awesome. Awesome. Excited to get to know more about you and your program, Dana. Okay. Tanya said, I love how passionate you are, Jennifer. Vanessa, how you held this space, being brave and vulnerable to present your question. Nice example, and how you're able to further focus. I liked hearing the questions you asked to get focused. So here's, she was pretty dialed in. So some of you may not be as dialed in on that. And, I was like, wait a minute, have we already been going an hour and a half? No, we've only been going half an hour. So if there's somebody who's less clear, I'm happy to unmute you as a model of a love seat for somebody who's a little bit more ambiguous. Kay raised her hand. Okay, Kay, go ahead and unmute yourself. Thank you, Jennifer, for volunteering, by the way. Great work.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, introduce yourself.
Well, thank you for saying that about it's okay not to be clear, because I'm very not clear. So my name is Katie Ann. I am a psychiatric nurse practitioner. I've done like informal and a couple of formal coaching, and I am currently looking to start a program for healthcare professionals, nurses, nurse practitioners, just healthcare professionals in general that are burnt out and want more. This is important to me because I feel like this is exactly where I'm at, where I've been, and I'd like to help others in my position to get to a better place as I get there. So in regards to program that I've chosen to create, I wrote Shift, Mindset Transformation. So I've been struggling with this, like trying to identify my skills, my strong points, or what you refer to as your genius zone. And I'm more about, I'm very good at just reflecting back to clients or patients their greatest self. Like when they come in to see me with whatever is going on, I'm always able to see them in their in the whole form, even though they feel broken. So for me, I feel like the way you think or perceive things is where I'd like to begin. Less of a steps for program, but more of a, I don't know, mindset shift or transformation type of program.
Okay.
Why is this important to me? I've come through a ton of challenges, and that's how I've overcome. Is just shifting my perspective, shifting how I see things, and I enjoy it. I really enjoy it. It makes me feel fulfilled. I love helping patients, friends, family, clients. So that's where I'm at.
And it sounds like you've done this work complimentary or one-on-one?
So I've done it complimentary, definitely, but I also do it in my practice. Coaching, I do coaching like work within the practice. But formally, I actually took on 2 clients a few years ago because this is what I was told. You should really think about doing coaching. So I took on 2 clients, and they did not pay. They just gave me feedback. I just gave them a survey to find out how they were doing in the areas that we worked on. One of them was more personal, and the other one was related to her business.
Business. So she wasn't a healthcare practitioner?
No, actually, she owned a juice bar, and
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. I'm trying to move this down. Okay, I'm going to share my screen for a distinction that will be valuable for many of you. Oh, sorry, it keeps going. So new share here. Oh. So when you said that you've been through a lot of challenges, I'm curious if there's one that you find that your clients resonate with or you can see in them. So can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, so here's the distinction that I'm making for you. So here's Pain Island, right? That you're part of my drawings, but you guys can get the point. So here's Pain Island. Here's the ocean, and here's Pleasure Island where they really want to be. And it's a bigger palm tree because it's more beautiful over there. The sun's shining. There's a rainbow, okay? And this is Pleasure Island. This is really where they want to be. What you shared with me that you do with your clients is the mindset work that gets them from here to here. What I hear is like you do mindset, you do shifts for them that really changes their circumstances and their challenges that they're having. This is the mechanic of how you get them from Pain Island to Pleasure Island, is this body of work that you do. Now, of course, in our work together, you can name this method, right? But for your marketing and really getting clear about whom you serve and what problem you solve for them, and in a way that has your audience pay for it, we've got to speak to who are these guys, where are they, what is the challenge whenever you said that you help them in challenges, even if you can specify common challenges, like burnout was one of the ones I heard you say. And then you can specify what it looks like afterwards. So you said like you help them shift like you help them become like you reflect back, you listen well, you reflect back their true self. Well, then I would ask you, well, then what was the benefit of that? How did their life change as a result of that? What did they change? What did they have the courage to do now? That will describe the Pleasure Island. But can you see this distinction of what we're going to be focusing on is really specifying this transformation that you help clients, whom you help, what problem you solve for them. So with the greater clarity that we can describe this problem, the more compelling we make your offer. Does that make sense?
It does. Yes, that does. That helps a lot. And I think this drawing, it's very beautiful. Really, it really does provide some clarity. It's almost like I feel like I'm in the mix and I can't give you the information. I just know it, so this is really helpful to kind of help me break it up and figure it out and package it in a way that they can receive it.
Here's what I heard. Yeah, healthcare professionals
Yes, healthcare professionals, primarily nurses or nurse practitioners, but not just them. And particularly in my field, I'm tapped into a lot of nurses and nurse practitioners because I'm on the board. I work for a large organization, so I have access to them. So I think it makes the most sense, and I can also survey them. I have them available, and I understand because I am them, right? And
How
one of
big
the
a
things,
business do you want?
huh?
How big a business do you want?
How big I want it starting or just imagining in my future in general.
Imagining how big a revenue do you want your business to grow to?
Imagining at least, I don't know, 5 million.
5 million?
Yeah.
You can have a $5 million business serving these guys.
Yes.
So if you wanted to specify to that, if it felt good, that's a clear, because the beautiful thing about this methodology, once you create this methodology for them, like you could offer it to other verticals, right? If you wanted to expand, but use them as the first group that you serve so that they have more commonality. Now, the other thing I heard you say burnout, I heard you say challenge, I heard you say personal and professional. So just my encouragement to you would be to specify what this is most commonly that you see that your mindset shift could help them to overcome. And usually like something we've been through is super powerful.
It's to leave, it's to leave the, many of my colleagues want to leave nursing because they feel burnt out. They feel like they've lost their passion. It's not what they thought or what it used to be. But there is this fear that's holding them back. It's the fear that, well, the money, I won't make enough money. And what if? And this is what I've been doing for a number of years. And I have friends and colleagues that have other passions outside of nursing and really are just existing and not truly living their lives.
There we go, girlfriend. There we go. Like, so one thing I want to reflect back for the listeners is, did you guys hear when her cadence picked up in her voice? Did you hear how, like, it just flowed out of her? Like, before her cadence of her words were coming out, like, with greater space between them. And all of a sudden, she started talking about this. It was just like, it was at a higher speed. It's like the treadmill sped up. So I want you to pay attention to that as your peers are sharing about why something's important to them, or when they're trying to distinguish what they're going to focus on. When you hear their voice pick up, that's like, oh, ding, 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 ding. Like, we're zeroing on a zone of genius stuff here, right? That stuff that's your passion that you really can serve them around. So that's where I hear some gems. For you, I would encourage you to sit with this. I'm very big about like listening to your body. And listening to like how that feel inside of you as you reflect on this stuff. So I'm not saying like adopt this for yourself, but as far as a niche, it sounds like, and the challenge is this here. That's a problem you help them solve. And then your methodology is utilizing mindset shifts. It sounds like it allows them to tap into what that passion is, overcome the fear to make the change in their life.
Oh my God. Thank you. This is very clear. And do you have any other recommendations of how I can work more on understanding or flushing out the mindset shift, or how to get to the methodologies?
Yeah, so the way that we're going to do on Friday is I'm going to tell you, like, if the outcome is, like, in your body of work, the outcome is going to be basically, it sounds like overcoming this fear, making a shift. So on Pain Island, they're stuck in their jobs, they're burnt out, they've lost their passion, they're showing up for a paycheck, and they're like, there's got to be more to life than this. And you're saying, there's this whole, like, it's okay, and you can pursue whether it sounds like it's other passions, and it could be even career shifts that bring this joy back into their life and have them alive again. And what I would encourage you to think through is, like, if you had one of these ideal clients, what would you tell her to do? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this right here will become your system that we'll work through on Friday.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks for volunteering.
Okay. Thank you for this. I appreciate that.
All right, guys. So what was useful in that love seat for you to hear? And thank you so much. Send her some love, you guys. Like, this is like her formulating with the passion for helping people that she's surrounded with every single day from her own story. Yes. So what was it that you learned from this love seat that was beneficial for you? When her voice changed, you can tell that was her genius. Sounds like you're making great progress already, Katie Ann. What else? Pleasure supports clarity, Deborah said. Excitement and smile on her face. Clearly articulating to my prospective clients what I help them overcome, Robin. Shamani, I loved how you make things visual, helped her. The questions to unearth the genius was helpful. Awesome. Okay, so what we're going to do is, any questions before we do this work with each other in breakout groups? Any questions? Love the visual, so helpful. How do you do the visual bit? That's an iPad Pro, and they have a little pencil and Notability app. I just started doing that. So I've run 18 workshops without it. So you don't have to have it from the get-go. So we're gonna go into breakout groups if you guys don't have any questions. And the way the breakout groups are gonna be, we do try to put you as many as possible into groups of 3. Some of you will be a group of 2 only. You're gonna be in your own room together. If you need my support or anyone on the team, like, don't be afraid to, like, there's a function where you can ask for help and we can go in and help you if you need it. We're gonna be spending 10 minutes a partner, 10 minutes a partner. It sounds like we're only missing 1 person. Okay, great. So we'll be spending 10 minutes a partner. Unless you're in a team of 2, then you'll do 15 minutes each. You can request team member help, as I mentioned. To join the room, you're going to get a prompt that you must accept to go into the breakout room. Remember, you can record your breakout room. You're going to be working on page 5. And on the call guide, what else do I want you to know? Oh, the person with, let's see, I'll show you who's the breakout groups. And you'll go in this order. I don't want to waste time guessing who's going first, second, third. So you'll just go in the order that's here. How to record, if on the up at the top menu, you can select on your Zoom to record, or you can go to more and you can record there. See if you can find that, Katie Ann. Okay, so here's group 1, Mitzi, Tanya, Laura, you'll go in that order. Group 2, Jennifer, Robin, Shamani, you'll go in that order. Group 3, Trish is not here, so we'll go straight to Deborah, then Katie Ann. And then group 4, it'll be Sabrina, then Dana, then Dina. And you'll be answering the questions exactly like the 2 Love Seat participants. Introduce yourself. What is your program idea? Why is it important to you? And have you done the work before? And then, is there any specific feedback that you would love from the group? Be sure to ask that. What exactly are we saying in our 10 minutes? Those things on page 5. Is that clear, Jennifer? What's on this screen? Yeah, don't record yet, or you can record when you go in your breakout group. Okay, awesome. Any questions before we go to breakout groups? All right. Darby will put you into partners, and we'll see you back here in 30 minutes. So 10 minutes a piece, you will get a prompt that tells you when to switch partners.
All right, here we go. Just make sure you hit your prompt to accept to go into the breakout groups.
Welcome back. I'd love for you to type into the chat, part of our Celebrate Often philosophy. What did you like most? What clarity did you get that you did not have before? Type that into the chat. Welcome back. What did you like most? What clarity did you get that you did not have before? Loved interacting with other like-minded women. First, these women are amazing. Yes. Honest, present, listening, non-judgmental questions. I liked meeting my chatmates. Great group. Second, they were able to zero in on exactly my core issue. 2 words added to my peak statement every year. Yes, Robin, that's so good. Being able to hear other people's program ideas, hearing what others thought about my ideas and offering helpful guidance. This group was the first to hear my idea, and I liked that they thought it was a good idea. Great questions. Awesome, awesome. So any questions that may have arisen from being in the breakout group or that you don't have answered yet, I want to give you a chance to ask now before we wrap up today. Any questions as you were having this conversation about your ideas?
Vanessa, I was with Jennifer and Shamani, and Jennifer asked us a really good question at the end, and I'd love to get your thoughts on it. She asked, she's creating a kind of, she'll do better talking about it, but she was saying focusing on kind of a target market or get the messaging right because she's not quite sure who the target market is. Can you address that?
So this was Jennifer who just did the love seat?
Yeah, but she asked about the target market for the program, and I don't know that I really helped her as much as I could have. So
Jennifer, do you want to ask your question?
Yeah, so I think that, we have a very broad target because I think lots of people could use our services, whether it's small business, entrepreneurs, female entrepreneurs, et cetera. So I think it's sort of hard for me to hone in. So I was just asking if they had a sense of who our services might appeal the most to. And I'd be open to hearing that from anybody.
So the options are female entrepreneurs,
Mm-hmm.
small
business owners.
owners.
We do serve companies, authors, celebrities, etc. But in this exact niche, I feel like small business owners are really the heart of who we can help and sort of level the playing field for them because they can't afford to pay $50,000 a month to a PR firm. So I sort of feel like our net's going to be cast fairly widely for small business owners of all types, unless somebody thinks that's a really bad idea.
What about, I would be a little bit more specific than small business owners. Like I would say who. So then you don't have to say your product, your book, you don't have to list all of them for them to feel like, oh, she's talking to me. What's the most common thing they'd want to get publicity for? So I'll give you a couple examples. Selena Sue does a big publicity program called Impacting Millions, and hers is for coaches, consultants, and hers is basically get recognized as an authority in the media. We had another client who came through our program, Cheryl, who worked with authors, and she worked with artists who had work that they wanted to get recognized. Films and books, I think, is who she dialed in on it in the final iteration. So identifying what they would want publicity for is probably the most crucial answer you would need to answer, the most crucial question you need to answer in order to specify for somebody to feel like you're speaking to them. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Tanya is saying, I personally always wanted help with PR. What about audiences of coaches, speakers, and authors? Yeah, who do you love to work with most? Well, I'll tell you, there's so much in like the speaker, author, coach space where we're so encouraged to get our authority out there, right? Like our authority-based marketing, or like how to, like I remember one time I gave a bonus to one of my programs where it was like I got them on Thrive, like I think it's called Thrive. It was on Huffington Post, whatever her first name is, Huffington's new online platform where they can get an article published. I mean, they were all over that. They're like, I want mine, like just having that publicity. So yeah, this just thinking about that, like what they would want to get publicized, help you.
Yeah, that's super helpful. And we love working with speakers, authors, and coaches. And I specifically have a heart for female entrepreneurs. So that feels like where I'm drawn.
Okay, go with that. Yeah, awesome. There's a whole bunch of us. Awesome, good work. Anyone else have a question? Okay. So in preparation for our workshop on Friday, have your call guide printed, okay? Have it, it'll help it go faster and smoother. We will see you Friday at 10 a.m. Type into the chat what time that is in your time zone, just so we don't have anybody showing up at the wrong time. 10 a.m. for Robin, 9 a.m. for Tanya, 7 a.m. for Mitzi, Deborah 7, Dana 10, Jennifer 9, Dina 10. Awesome. All right. All right, guys. Well, that's it. We will see you on Friday. Great job today. So excited about our work going into Friday. Mwah. Lots of love.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.